Welcome back to Stl Tv Live. The St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment, or Slate, is back again with an update on the services they provide to us all. Welcome, Mr. Holmes. Michael Holmes again. It's always great to see you.
Nice being here. Thank you for having me.
So, I mean, on the topic of unemployment, especially as it relates to St. Louis, there's a lot of areas we could cover, but I thought I'd start off because a lot of people hear Slate, the name, all the time, but they don't exactly know what it is that Slate does. So I thought we could kind of just walk through the basics first to get things started.
And you're right. A lot of people look at Slate as those that know Slate. We have a lot of people. It's a great brand, but a lot of people think about it as summer employment only. Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember I got a summer job through Slate, but we have evolved. Slate is the St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment. We are an affiliate of America's Job Center, which is the workforce development arm for city government. We work with individuals who are unemployed, underemployed. We do work with youth. Mm-hmm. And so we do everything you will think about when it comes to a person trying to get a skill, trying to get a career started. We don't operate programs. Years ago we did. Mm-hmm. We used to run our own program, but we have vendors now that we RFP out for services. So we monitor all of the services, but we are the public workforce system for the city of St. Louis. Companies use us, businesses, because they're looking for talent, and so they have job fairs, and they will do that at 1520 Market, or will do it at their location when they're looking at citizens to employ, mm-hmm. and they look for certain qualification. So we help them go through that process of finding good talent that could live anywhere in the region. Our services is not just for the city of St. Louis residents. They're for anyone who needs our services.
Right, because we were talking actually before this, mm-hmm. and I didn't realize that in Missouri there's 14 agencies across the state similar to Slate, but there's 14, is that correct?
Yes, there are 14 workforce regions around the state of Missouri. I serve as the president of the team, as we call it, and I serve as the state president for the last 3 years. And all of them do almost the same thing that we do. Mm-hmm. They're the public workforce system.
Okay, so when we talk about workforce system, let's go from, I thought you described it perfectly earlier. You said a two-way street. You said there's the employers and then there's the job seekers. So let's mm-hmm. talk about it from the job seeker standpoint, which is when they come to Slate, they're looking at what services can they find, actual job postings, they can find job fairs. Explain it from the job seeker standpoint.
A job seeker come in first, the job seeker must come in and register, because we don't serve anyone that's not in our database.
Okay.
And when people say, well, why do I have to be in your database? Well, if we're spending money on you, the government wants to know who you are. And if we have to know that if we're serving John Smith, mm-hmm. that you're John Smith and you're not John somebody else. Mm-hmm. So we have to verify that you are who you are. So you come in, do a registration. The registration takes around 45 minutes. You can do some of this registration at home on jobs.mo.gov. Mm-hmm. You can upload your profile. Now, if you don't do that at home and you come into our office, before we can serve you, you have to put your profile in.
Got it.
Because we got to know what are your current skills, what are you looking for. If you have a resume, we need to see that, upload that. But you can do all that from home. So when you come to the center, it takes you probably 30 minutes now.
Right, and then from the employer side, you work with businesses, and tell me what services you provide them.
Well, on the side of the employee, we also do an assessment of their skills to make sure that if they're looking for a job, that they have the right skills for that job, mm-hmm. that we're not giving them a job assignment that if it asks for 5 years of IT, you have none, but we'll make you apply for the job.
Sure.
That doesn't go. For the business, though, we have become what we say an asset to business. Mm-hmm. One of the things we do for some of the business, we become their HR department, free of charge. They're like, well, what do you mean by HR? We will review their resumes for any client that they'll put a job lead on. They'll put it in our system and say, well, but we don't want to see anybody. We want you to give us mm-hmm. the best resumes. So we go through that for them. They do the interviews. They tell us, well, we don't want to hire this person lacks this skill. And what we'll do is bring that person in, review what happened at the interview, we may have to send them to school.
Sure.
And we do that.
Well, I want to talk about, you mentioned businesses, specifically small businesses, because you have some initiatives going on about that. So we're going to actually take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to be talking about youth unemployment, small businesses, and just a lot more topics with Michael Holmes from Slate. Please stay with us after this break. Hi, I'm Sarah Thompson, and welcome back to Stl Tv Live. I have Michael Holmes from Slate with me in studio, and we're going to continue our discussion where we left off. We were talking about small businesses, and you actually have some current initiatives where you really want to work with local small businesses to help them bring unemployed people in their houses.
Yes, we are looking to work with small businesses in the St. Louis region that want to hire unemployed individuals. Now, when we say unemployed individuals, a lot of these unemployed people have great skills. We don't dictate to a company who to hire, but they have to have received unemployment compensation. Then what we will be doing with that company that's interested in hiring that individual is reimbursing them. We call it OJT. We will reimburse a small company anywhere between 50 to 90% of their wages, depending on how small the company. Now, when we say small business, what I'm looking at a company that has less than 50 people. To me, that's a small business. Now, we know there are a lot of others, but we'll help any company up to 50% of their wages. But when we get into offering more wage reimbursement, it's the smaller the company, the larger the wage. The bigger the company, the less wage. We will, our cap is 50% for any large, medium and large company.
Because I think a lot of small businesses don't always think that these kind of programs apply to them. They're always thinking it's a big corporation, but really you're trying to help small businesses and help those who are looking for a job.
Right, because we know small businesses grow our local economy. Big businesses, they're okay, they add to it, but when we're talking about growth of our local economy here in the St. Louis region, it's the small business. So our job is to say, how can we help them grow? And one way we can do that is by offering them the same incentives and that we offer our big business. If they hire veterans, we'll have a reimbursement for a veteran. Now, a veteran to us is an individual who have come out the war within the last year. Now, we serve other veterans that may be unemployed. They can get the OJT, but the veteran OJT, because we are, the mayor has, for the last 4 years, have concentrated on veteran outreach, making sure that we can employ those veterans that come home from the war that gave their service and their time to us, so we can be safe here at home. So one thing that we're doing is reimbursing those companies that say, I'm willing to hire that veteran, that have the skills I'm looking for. So it's not, well, you just hire anybody. No, you interview the person, but the person has to be eligible for our funding.
Absolutely. Let's talk about, you mentioned veterans, but another topic that continues to come up, which is youth unemployment. And this is big nationwide. I mean, there's kids coming out of college, even pre-college, but who aren't necessarily going to college, but cannot find jobs. Let's talk about what is your assessment of that situation?
And we have a major crisis when it comes to youth employment in this country. And we have gone every year. In January, the mayor and I go to D.C. and we talk about unemployment. We talk about youth unemployment. We go to Capitol Hill. We talk to our elected officials, congressmen and senators. The mayor even goes to the White House and talks about these issues. The last 4 years, we've gone. And one thing he preaches is we need to do something for our youth. We need to have youth year-round employment, not just summer employment, but we need to give these youth an opportunity year-round to work. And what we see is Congress have not made that commitment to employ or to work with our youth in a year-round environment. 3 years ago, we've had the last summer program. So it is important that we talk about this, but it's important that the citizens of this community of the United States really talk to Congress and say, this is a crisis. We expect you to fund summer employment and youth year-round employment for our young people. If not, then I don't know if that we're ever going to get out of the situation we're in, because young people are not getting that opportunity. They're not getting the experience, and it's because of the lack of work
Yeah, absolutely. No,
and opportunity.
No, you hit the nail, right on the head there. I mean, that's a great summary of it. Well, for more information on Slate, if you really want to go to find out more information about job postings, jobs fairs, we've got the information for you right there. It's stlworks.com for the website. It's got all the information about if you're a small business owner or a big business owner, any opportunities you can take advantage of with Slate, or if you are someone looking for a job or know someone who is looking for a job. Again, head to the website or call 314-657-3509. And it's great to have you here, and I look forward to
thanks for having me.
having you back to talk about some
Anytime.
some
I
upcoming.
love talking about this organization.
No, we see that you do. All right, well, stick around. After the break, we'll find out what's new at the Missouri History Museum. Stay tuned.